We have got the matchup on our hands. First battle of the day, top 32. James Deane to take on Jim Olofsson for a place in top 16. And like you say, this could go either way. Those guys are warming up their tyres, and it looks like we are ready to go.
It looks like we're good to go. Jim Olofsson has more horsepower, but of course James Deane has all that experience.
Yeah. He's
going to go in here as the favourite. Jim Olofsson's going to go in here as definitely the underdog, Ian. But for me, he's been looking very strong in practice. Definitely shaking those sort of, nervous moments from Płock round one. He's looking a lot more confident. Of course, he's going to have the confidence to chase in James Deane into the first corner. 110%. Here we go. We're live for battles in Hungary as James Deane throws it in with Jim Olofsson making a dive on his rear quarter.
Yeah, Jim Olofsson now starts to hunt down the Formula D champion. But Deane looks strong out front. Looks like he's got that dry track that he was after. But Olofsson not really falling behind too much. Lost in the smoke as they come round that inner clipping point and onto the wall.
Not a bad job from Jim Olofsson whatsoever there, Ian. I'm very impressed that he stuck with the current Formula Drift champion. James Deane now sits in his favourite position, which of course is the chase position, and it's time to see what the Worthouse and Falcon Tire driver has got as he tries to stick it on the door of the Swede Jim Olofsson, as it is the first battle in our top 32 here in Hungary, and we are good to go.
Yeah, as we see Jim Olofsson now chased down by James Deane. Big initiation from Deane, and Olofsson taking down the initiation cone, but Deane looking scrappy. Doesn't get all the way onto the outer zone. Olofsson looking quick, looking like the faster driver right now. These BMW E30s excelling on this fast circuit, but Deane now starts to hunt down the door of Jim Olofsson's BMW E30 and pushes him across the line.
Yeah, James gets back into it towards the end of the run, but gotta say the pace of Jim Olofsson.
Do you know what? It didn't look like a normal James Deane.
James Deane. Slide him left for Olofsson, slide him right for James Deane, who's going through to the top 16 main event. And it's going to be James Deane. James Deane gets the win. And James Deane gets the win and goes through to our top 16, going back to throw it to the judges to explain that one. Not as obvious as it may have seemed. In our technicality, next up we have got Enver Haskasap up against Nigel Colfer. Enver Haskasap from Cyprus, Nigel Colfer from Ireland. Enver running a 2JZ with 1,000 horsepower. Nigel Colfer running 740 horsepower. Nigel with the more experience, but Enver the man to watch on the last two rounds, who has come on leaps and bounds, Ian. He has been phenomenal in the last round in Poland, and I think Nigel Colfer is going to know that, and this is going to be a huge, huge heavyweight battle here in the top 32.
Yeah, listen, like you say, off the line, Colfer and Enver Haskasap. Colfer, like you say, a lot of European experience, but Haskasap, the unknown entity right now as he fires that car in. A big separation straight away. Colfer drops way down on the bank. Doesn't look like he's got the pace to keep up with Haskasap, as Haskasap now stands on the accelerator. Can Nigel Colfer start to pull himself back into the fight? As Haskasap sticks it to the wall, and Colfer starts to pull on him ever so slightly.
Yeah, you know what? That looked like Nigel Colfer was under pressure from the Cypriot. Can take it through to the top 16, but he's going up against one of the most experienced drivers in European drifting. Game of chess right now, Ian, as they come off the line.
Yeah, this could go either way. They come off the line as Enver Haskasap now chases down Nigel Colfer for a spot in top 16. And look at Haskasap right with Nigel Colfer. Nigel Colfer almost getting pushed off circuit as Haskasap sticks it to the door.
What a transition!
Look at Enver Haskasap as he torments Nigel Colfer. A little bit of separation on that front clip as Colfer now starts to pull away, but Haskasap looking absolutely on form as they come across the line.
It just goes to going through to the top 16 main event. Slide him left for Nigel Colfer, slide him right for Enver Haskasap, who's going through to the top 16. And it is going to be Enver Haskasap getting the win and going through to the top 16. The Cypriot makes another top 16 main event and cements his charge for the championship. Unfortunately, Nigel Colfer bowing out. We throw it back to you guys. Talk us through it. The quality of Nigel Colfer being eliminated in the top 32. We told you this was a crazy championship. Well, it's starting to pay dividends now as one of the biggest names in the championship goes home top 32. On the line, Yanis Iglite. And why is he on the line on his own? Well, we've got some heartbreaking news from the pit scene.
Yeah.
That is Matt Carter retiring from the competition. The UK driver and the current British drift champion retiring with gearbox issues just on his last run of practice. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I mean, unbelievable for us, really. We was absolutely heartbroken. Matt Carter was looking very, very strong in practice and looking very, very good. And we looked for it. It looked like he was going to have a very good battle with Yanis Iglite, but unfortunately, Carter's car breaking down. Can't make it out on circuit as Yanis Iglite does a solo run
to get himself into the top 16. Yanis representing Latvia, of course, in that E46 LS1 twin turbo, 800 horsepower.
Heidrich.
This is an interesting one.
Very.
Poland versus Germany, and Adam Zalewski breaking 6 drive shafts at the first round, not being able to compete in the qualifying session. And also, he is your current and reigning Drift Masters European champion. So he's got to kickstart his campaign here, but he comes up against a very on-form driver in Max Heidrich, who has said he's had trouble with the conditions changing, but he said if it stays dry, he's feeling confident. Right now, it looks to me that's a full dry track out there. I think these two guys are going to go to war, and of course, they know that these guys would have met in the top 4 last year. With the influx of 19 or 18 other nations, here they are, top 32 going up against each other, just like a final right from the off.
Yeah, exactly. And listen, Adam Zalewski has been looking on form all weekend. It looks like he's got those issues sorted with those drive shaft problems, and he is fast. Very, very quick around here. A lot of guys saying he's untouchable. Let's see if he is right now as he comes off the line to lead out Max Heidrich for a spot in top 16.
Zalewski leads him in as Heidrich now comes through the gears. Zalewski with a very early initiation. As Heidrich now starts to cut track, he knows he's got to get back on the rear of that E30 and a shallow transition from Heidrich. He puts out a big angle, he could go in the wall here, and he does go in the wall heavy. Risked it all in trying to get back on the door, and that's a huge impact from Max Heidrich on the wall. You can see from where our vantage point here, that was a big hit. Make some noise for Max Heidrich as he leaves the circuit, and of course that will be, you listen to the very unlucky Adam Zalewski from the last round. He now officially gets the win and goes through to the top 16, and Adam, of course, getting a little bit of luck this time with Max Heidrich not being able to compete in the second half of the battle. Moving on to another bye run, and I'd say why, because in the last run of practice, Jacek Popciulak from Poland had to retire from the competition, meaning Paweł Borkowski, the Polish driver, goes through to the top 16 automatically. I've said before, Ian, he's one of my favorite drivers on the grid. He's going to do a bye run here. Let's just give you a taster of how good this guy is. A lot of Europe's been sleeping on him.
Yeah.
But for me, at the last round, I bigged him up. He broke a drive shaft, warming his tires in the top 16. So that's heartbreaking. But right now, the car is on form. He's looking sensational. And Paweł Borkowski, for me, is one of the favorites today. If he gets that thing working, he is an insane driver, and he pushes 110% every single run. Yeah,
I mean, this guy doesn't leave anything behind as he fires that car, and you can see just how fast he is. Nice and deep out of zone. And he doesn't even have to go this hard. This is just a bye run, putting on a show for the crowds here at Mario Pox and for you guys watching at home, as Paweł Borkowski nails that car to the wall and finishes off a superb run.
Incredible stuff from him, especially as you remember, it's not an active run. All he had to do was make one pass of the course and make his way to the top 16 main event. But from Mariupol, Hungary, and it is of Benediktas Cirba to go up against Krzysztof Romanowski. And we've been talking about these two guys all weekend.
Yeah, listen, for me, Benediktas Cirba, he come out in practice on a Friday morning and absolutely nailed the qualifying line straight off the bat. This guy doing a very, very good job in qualifying. Qualified 13th, it was a very tough qualifying session. But listen, he's got the pace, he's quick. But saying that, Krzysztof Romanowski and his teammate Grzegorz Hypki have got two of the fastest V8 E30s known to man. They are like rocket ships right now. A lot of the paddock saying these two guys in these E30s are dangerous. They can take you out the battle.
But Benediktas Cirba has been pushing guys around this track all day in practice. So right now practice is over. It's go time. It's competition time. And Cirba comes out the gates hot. As now you can see Romanowski trying to chase him into that first corner. But Cirba's got the jump on him. Romanowski's going to have to start making that dive. And he comes in very hot in the chase position. Holds on to it. Almost has a big impact there.
Wow, nearly gets lost in the smoke and finds himself in the wall. Cirba just dropping off of a line ever so slightly. Now Romanowski lost in the smoke. Can he start to pull it back as they transition into the final turn? Romanowski just gets in the fight at the end of it.
This track is insane. It's over in a straight looking at a concrete reinforced wall. This track takes no prisoners.
Yeah, no prisoners whatsoever, and we've seen a lot of our grid already fall foul to the concrete walls here. As they come off the line, it will be Benediktas Cirba to chase down Krzysztof Romanowski, and as you see, the pace in that E30 now as he stands on the accelerator, Cirba really needs to get into it. He looks stronger in the first half of the battle as Benediktas Cirba now starts to give room to Krzysztof Romanowski as they come in to one of the final outer zones and across the line. You know what, for me, it seems a fair fought battle from both of these guys.
Now scores are in, let's see which way it goes. Romanowski slide him left, right, slide him for Cirba, who's going through to the top 16. David goes one more time. Kevin goes Cirba, and Kieran goes Cirba. It's Benediktas Cirba goes through to the top 16, and there you have it. Lithuania takes a win over Poland as Cirba goes through. We got to go back to you guys. Talk us through it. Tough decision. On to our next fight for that main event spot. Fight for that top 16. Kujetan Rutyna goes up against Tobiasz Puscian. And this is going to be an all-Polish battle. Either two guys that really impressed us at round one.
Yeah, both these guys went hard at round one, and they've been going hard in practice. What have they got? As Kujetan Rutyna throws it in, Puscian no proximity as Kujetan throws that Mercedes-Benz all the way to the wall. Looks strong out front, a little wobble there on the steering as Puscian stays way offline, no proximity. This is looking like a one-way battle to me.
That is definitely the fastest Mercedes 190 I've ever seen in my entire life.
Kujetan Rutyna was like gone. It was just a masterclass, really, in a lead run. So
yeah, well, of course, Tobiasz Puscian finished first place in the Drift Cup of Champions in the Drift Open in Poland 2014. He's going to have to draw from that experience. And you can see Rutyna now starting to attack straight from the off as they come through that first corner. Rutyna starting to get on the door, backs away on the transition, has to get back onto the door. Puscian's line not perfect. Did he look at
wow. Look at
Rutyna.
the proximity from Rutyna as he starts to dial it on. Rutyna wanted to take this all the way to the final as he pushes Tobiasz Puscian across the line.
Incredible. But here we go, we've got a result in. Will it be Tobiasz Puscian or Kujetan Rutyna going through to the top 16? Slide him left for Puscian, slide him right for Rutyna, and there you have it. Kujetan Rutyna gets the win and goes through to the top 16. No surprises there, but we'll get official call from our judges. 180SX. This is an interesting one. Two guys that have been struggling on and off in practice, had some great runs, had some sketchy runs. Everyone had a couple of sketchy runs. You can see Bagsy warming himself up in the car there. It's good to go. UK versus Poland.
Listen, for me, Grzegorz Hypki has been looking like the fastest man around here. This car lifts a wheel on outer zone 3 with that much torque and grip. Can Bagsy keep up with the pace, Dave? We're about to find out. They're off the line as Bagsy chases in.
He's going in close, though. It makes that late dive.
Falls out of it. Bagsy needs to get back in the fight, though, as Grzegorz Hypki on a perfect line. Bagsy just giving him some room to initiate. Now Bagsy starts to hunt him down, but look at the pace in that BMW of Grzegorz Hypki as he stands on the accelerator and leaves Bagsy for dead.
That is the fastest car on this circuit. I'm not sure what he's done.
How quick is it?
Eli Hountondji at round one in Płock in Poland, and right now Bagsy's under pressure. He's got to put in the perfect lead on and hope Hypki makes a mistake. Hypki, I think, can smell the blood in the water now. He's saying, you know what, I've got the pace, I've got the car, I've got the talent. Can Poland take on the UK? Bagsy knocks a cone and it's a red flag.
It's a red flag.
And Hypki almost into the back of Bagsy there.
Yeah, Hypki nearly taking out the back end of Bagsy's car there. So we're going to swap these, get these guys turned back around, and it will be a restart as Bagsy caught a cone.
When they're braver than he's ever gone in there before. That is a big risk right now.
Yeah, it's a big risk right now for Bagsy as they get the red light. It's amber, it's green, it's go. It's Bagsy versus Hypki. Bagsy to lead in. Grzegorz Hypki for a spot in top 16. Can Bagsy outpace the E30 LSX of Grzegorz?
Look at Hypki!
Hypki on the door pushes Bagsy offline. One for the judges to look at there as Bagsy gets into the outer zone now. Grzegorz Hypki starts to give Bagsy some room. They come through the outer zone. Bagsy almost taking the rear end of his car.
That is a brave run from both drivers. That initiation from Hypki was insane. Absolutely insane. He was on the door throughout the first corner. Tough one to call. Slide him left for Steve Bagsy. Biagioni slide him right for Grzegorz Hypki, who's going through. And there you have it. It is Grzegorz Hypki getting the win and going through to the top 16. That is going to be a tough one to call. I cannot wait to hear the toughest competition in European drifting you've ever seen. And here's another huge battle. Conor Shanahan, the winner of round one of the Driftmasters European Championship in Płock in Poland. He goes up against Kenn Egtved, looking to stamp his authority on the championship here at round two. Conor Shanahan going in as the man to beat. He's the current championship leader in the Link Engine Management Westside Tire 180SX. He is just 15 years of age. He goes up against Kenn Egtved, who has been impressing us right throughout the weekend.
Yeah, this guy's been putting it on the line all weekend, but can he take down the 15-year-old superstar Conor Shanahan? As Shanahan fires that car in, pops a headlight. Kenn Egtved, though, not in the fight whatsoever, drops down on track.
Yeah, really scrappy in the chase position from Kenn so far, as he said he's dialing this car in lap by lap, but at the moment just losing a lot of ground to Conor Shanahan as he has no such issues, absolutely firing through that last section. And a big gap pulled, and Kenn, who came in pretty aggressive, just couldn't pull it off. He'd making some mistakes. Reset the battle between Kenn Egtved and Conor Shanahan and see who is going to hold their nerve. Shanahan, I think, would we more or less say has a little bit of an advantage from the first run. A lot of pace through the course. Yeah. Egtved making some mistakes. Egtved now, though, in the second half has to pull off a lead run, an incredible even. And Shanahan holding back a little bit here.
Yeah, giving him some room, as you can see. Egtved fire it in. Egtved struggling for pace, but Conor Shanahan looking absolutely dialed now, starts to rein it in, and look at this. Shanahan sticks that 180SX to the door as they come through that front zone. And transition, Shanahan almost taking it back, and contact!
Big impact between both cars. As Kenn Egtved hits the wall, Conor Shanahan hits Kenn Egtved, and that 180SX and E9. One we've been looking at right from the drop yesterday evening. Sebastian Fontijn, representing the Netherlands, goes up against Hountondji, representing Germany, one of the Red Bull Drift brothers. It is going to be an E36 for an E30, but two very different power plants. The Dutch drivers going for the 2JZ setup, and Hountondji going for the V8 crate motor. So this is two guys that are on form in practice, looking for a better finish today, because both guys going out pretty early on round one. Sebastian Fontijn going out, of course, with a mechanical failure. Hountondji going out with a crazy battle with Grzegorz Hypki, but now they're both going to try and make it to that main event, top 16. Which way is it going to go? Germany versus Holland. And it will be the Dutch driver, Sebastian Fontijn, to lead him out into that first corner. And as you can see from the crashes and carnage that we've seen, it is knife-edge stuff here at Drift Masters. Round 2 in Hungary. Green light says go, and Fontijn awaits the call. There we are. Off the line they go. Fontijn through the gears, and look at Hountondji now starting to make the move.
Yeah, look at this. Look at the pace, though, from Sebastian Fontijn as he fires that car in. Absolutely pulls miles away from Hountondji. Hountondji now starts to try and regain some ground, but Sebastian Fontijn looks unstoppable. This car is like a rocket right now. Hountondji starts to try and gain some lost ground, but Dave, Sebastian Fontijn looks like he has got a rocket in the back of.
Have a little think about that lead run. He's going to have to come in just as hot as Sebastian Fontijn. He's going to have to stay on the throttle a little later than he's done every other run. He knows now his spotter will be on the radio saying, man, you got to just go for it here. Fontijn, though, he can feel it. He's got the pace. His team are going to be saying, you've got the pace. You got to go for the door here. You got to seal the deal. You got to get to the top 16. Well, let's see how it unfolds.
Well, here we go as Hountondji fires it in, but look at Sebastian Fontijn right on the back bumper. But now Hountondji looks like the guy with the pace, as Sebastian Fontijn, ever such a slight straighten on that transition, now needs to get in the fight. Can he glue it on the door? He starts to try and force the win as Hountondji transitions for the final time. Sebastian Fontijn gets on the side of that Red Bull E30.
You know what? Oh, let's see which way it goes. Slide him left for Hountondji. Slide him right for Sebastian Fontijn. Germany versus Holland. Who's going to go through? Kieran says one more time. We're going one more time. One more time between Hountondji and Sebastian Fontijn. Throwing it back to you guys in the tower. Talk us. Go at it again.
So we need to move it along. We're going to see the other half of the Red Bull Drift Brothers. We're going to see right now Andreas Vasiliauskas to take on Joe Hountondji. I mean, listen, Vasiliauskas, the smoke machine, but Hountondji having a few accidents in practice, Dave.
Yeah, and he's been looking aggressive. We got 1,500 horsepower about to take to that first corner. That is the level of European drifting right now, and two very different machines. In the E92 from Lithuania, it is Andreas Vasiliauskas to lead in Joe Hountondji into the first corner. Vasiliauskas coming in.
What a big straighten from Hountondji on initiation.
Yeah, Hountondji making some errors, and he's right on the wrong part of the track here and not making up ground. He had a huge impact with the wall. They've just got that car back together. Maybe some issues still there, but he has not got the pace to stay with Andreas Vasiliauskas. Absolute battleship as it creates a huge smoke cloud through the trees here in Hungary. And Vasiliauskas is fast, Deane.
Yeah, very, very fast indeed. And you know what?
Just make some contact in practice. He's a very aggressive driver. He's entertaining to watch, don't get me wrong. But Joe Hountondji is going to have to come out there like his brother did and battle from behind now and try and get himself back into this one. Yeah,
I mean, listen, we've seen these guys go a long way in European drifting, so they're off the line. It will be Joe Hountondji to take on Andreas Vasiliauskas. And look at that, Vasiliauskas right with him as he initiates, and a little bit of separation now. Vasiliauskas starts to get in it as Hountondji finds the perfect lead line now. But look at this from Vasiliauskas right with Joe Hountondji as they transition back onto the wall. Vasiliauskas, big transition from Vasiliauskas as he pushes door on door and takes Joe Hountondji across the line.
Impressive stuff from both the Lithuanian and German drivers as they come across. Wasn't right on the door, but he had constant proximity. So let's see which way the judges go. Slide him left for Joe Hountondji, slide him right for Andreas Vasiliauskas. Which way is it going to go? Top 16 place up for grabs. And our judges, there you have it, it's official. Andreas Vasiliauskas goes through to the top 16. And you know what, Ian, it's
going through to the top 16, and we move it along to another battle of some heavyweights.
yeah, big battle here. Two guys looking very strong. The Finnish driver Juha Poitalakso goes up against the Norwegian driver Tor-Arne Kavia, fresh off the podium at round 1. He goes up against a man that is in incredible form. Juha Poitalakso has been an incredible driver, not just in this championship, but he is the current Finnish and European Drift GP champion, so he comes with some pedigree here. He's on the right hand side of your screen. He is in the BMW, but Tor-Arne Kavia, he fought his way to the podium at round 1. Can he fight there again? Here we go.
Well, here we go, Dave, as Poitalakso fires it in. Look at Tor-Arne Kavia, though, right with him now, starts to hunt down the door, and this is the Kavia that we have missed for 2 weeks. Look at Tor-Arne Kavia back on the door again as he pushes Poitalakso through this tight technical circuit. Nice and fast transition, though, onto the wall as Tor-Arne Kavia pushes Poitalakso all the way home.
That is a chase run at Poitalakso that you just got chewed up, man. You got to go out there. You've got to put it all on the line. You got to throw the dice. You may hit him, you may not, but you cannot do a soft run here. You cannot let him get 1 or 2 car lengths ahead of you. You have to go in on that door from the off. Poitalakso is going to jump this one straight through the gears, I think. He's going to have to come in there more aggressive than he's done in any practice run this weekend, and here he goes.
Yeah, here he goes as he now hunts down Tor-Arne Kavia.
Wow.
Kavia fires it, and look at Poitalakso. Kavia taking cones out with the rear end of that car. But look at the angle from Kavia on that initiation and that wall run. Kavia in the zone very deep, but Poitalakso right with him as he almost pushes Tor-Arne Kavia through that clipping point. Kavia and Poitalakso putting on a show right now.
Incredible run. Hungary makes some noise for Juha Poitalakso. Cars to arrive onto the line. There is going to be a decision. We'll slide him left for the Norwegian Tor-Arne Kavia. Slide him right for Juha Poitalakso from Finland. Kieran says one more time. Kevin says one more time. We're going one more time.
To take on Daniel Savek.
Yeah, Pavel Korpelinski qualifying in 3rd position yesterday. He's looking comfortable out there in that BMW 1M 815 horsepower. He goes up against Daniel Savek. He is running, well, I think one of the most cool looking cars out there, which is of course that S14 from Norway, LS2 748 horsepower, monster power, monster grip on both of these cars. And it will be Poland to take on Norway here in the top 32 of the Drift Masters European Championship as they come through the gears and drop the hammer into that first corner at over 70 miles an hour. Look at Savek.
Savek throwing it on the door, and look at this. Oh, Savek's in the wall.
Oh, big
hit
from Savek. Savek hits the wall hard, really hard. That's the biggest hit we've seen today. And Korpelinski comes out of the course there. And again, another car into the wall. And you could see it coming in from a mile off. He came in there at least 20 miles.
Exactly. We need to make it official, though, Dave, so the judges are going to slide it across for Pavel Korpelinski, and Pavel Korpelinski will find himself in top 16 later on today. As you can see, Listen, I spoke to a few guys earlier that felt that they got knocked out of competition yesterday in top 42 qualifying. A battle of 2 heavyweights. This guy finished 4th last round, round 1. David Karkošik to take on Ivo Cirulis, 800 horsepower S15 to take on the 670 horsepower of Ivo's E46. And listen, David last round gave us an amazing show.
Nothing. You can almost look now. I'm just gonna. If you're watching on for the first time this weekend, he fixed this car.
Oh, it was immaculate.
To look immaculate yesterday. Yep. It's already as destroyed as it was at round 1 of Poland because he hit everything and everyone in practice because he said, "I'm going for the win." End up. He goes up against Ivo Cirulis. He is the Latvian. He is the 2010 Baltic champion, and he is a 3-time Latvian champion. And of course, he is here to prove himself as the true European champion. He's been looking very aggressive in practice. I expect this one to be fireworks. Yeah,
I mean, listen, before he does that, he's got to go through David Karkošik as Karkošik comes off the line and leads in Cirulis for a place in top 16. But look at this, a big initiation from Cirulis. Could have got himself mixed up a little bit of an accident. Oh, and almost makes contact with David Karkošik as Karkošik now stands on the accelerator, but Karkošik offline, and again Cirulis makes a huge dive, but Cirulis looking scrappy. This is not a nice chase.
You know what, Ian? I think we're going to check the replay. I think, I'm going to go on a big limb and say it, that David Karkošik came in too hot. So here we go, Karkoshik in the chase position. He might know he's made that error now. He might have to go harder. When David Karkoshik starts to get that red mist and goes aggressive, well, I think everyone should take 2 steps back, because this is going to get crazy, and it's going to get crazy fast. Look at Karkoshik throwing it in on the door. Yeah, Karkoshik now looking for blood. He made that big error in the first round. Look at this, Karkoshik looking up the front wheel. Cirulis on an absolutely perfect lead line, but look at this. Karkoshik all over the back end. Karkoshik offline again. This is not like the Karkoshik we see at round 1. It starts to fall apart right now for David Karkoshik as Ivo Cirulis powers across the line. I mean, I'm not going to go out and say it, the top 16. Let's see which way it goes. Ivo Cirulis, slide him left, slide him right for David Karkoshik. Which way will it go? And there you have it. Ivo Cirulis gets the win and goes through to the top 16. Eliminated in the top 32 at round 2. And we told you be unpredictable this weekend. Well, this track here at Mario Posh in Hungary has proved that already. Now we go back to it one more time. Fontijn versus Hountondji. Fontijn to lead him out. Hountondji in the chase, and Hountondji's not giving it up as easy this time, Ian. No, Hountondji knows the pace of Fontijn's car as Fontijn goes deep into that outer zone. But look at this, Hountondji with him this time. They go to the wall together, and Hountondji giving Fontijn some room as Fontijn absolutely stands on the accelerator. But look at this, Hountondji door and door as they come over the line. Yeah, it sounded off. He just laid down, and I mean, if he doesn't, this could go the wrong way for Sebastian Fontijn. They're on the line and ready to go. It's Eli Hountondji to lead in Sebastian Fontijn for a spot in top 16, and they come off the line, and Sebastian Fontijn smashes through the gears and keeps up. Yeah, Fontijn's got the pace, and he makes a late dive on Hountondji. Trying to get that extreme proximity, but he's lost power. He's lost power in the car. The car looks like it's losing power in the chase position, but he stays on the line with a car that is not working correctly. He's fighting it here as Hountondji now starts to pull the gap, and Fontijn stays in the fight. Very little smoke from the back of that car. I can't believe he stayed in that one. Yeah, I mean, there is definitely It's for a spot in the top 16. Slide him left for Eli Hountondji. Slide him right for Sebastian Fontijn. And there you have it. Eli Hountondji gets the win. The Red Bull Drift brother will go through to the top 16. Tor-Arne Kavia. This was insane on the first half. On the first time we saw these two guys go out, I am a little bit worried and a little bit scared about what's going to happen next. Yeah, I mean, listen, Pontelexco is going to fire this car in at 150 mile an hour because we know he's very fast. But Tor-Arne Kavia is not going to go down without a fight. Our third place finisher from round 1 is going to be looking to continue some pace as he sticks the car on the door again. Wow! Kavia almost makes contact with the back end. Oh, and Kavia gets into the wall. Kavia hits the wall but stays in it. He's still in the fight, but he's done damage to the car in the chase position. And losing ground to Pontelexco. It all happened on outer zone 2. Kavia goes into the wall. So it's just all coming down to these couple of seconds on the track, and Pontelexco knows if he puts this on the door, if he can take this through, that's going to pump up his championship order. And Kavia's got to pull off something sensational. Look at the back of his car, absolutely destroyed. Will it stay in one piece? Well, will it stay in one piece? We're about to find out as Kavia fires it in. Pontelexco now looking to take it now. Big angle from Kavia on the wall and a straighten from Pontelexco as Kavia now takes his car to the wall. Pontelexco is right with him, pushing Tor-Arne Kavia through clipping point 3. This is incredible for Pontelexco. What a run from both of these guys. Decision. Slide him left for Kavia, right for Pontelexco. Which way is it going to go? And there you have it. Pontelexco gets the win and goes through to the top 16. Quickly back to you guys. A big mistake. Green light will mean go. Michael Reichardt to lead out. Jack Shanahan. Jack Shanahan in the chase position. You can see how hard he's been pushing this weekend. The back end of the car completely destroyed at this point as he now chases in Michael Reichardt. Everyone in the arena holds their breath as these guys go through the gears up to bar. Look at the initiation. Reichardt on a big initiation. Yeah, big opposite flick there from Michael Reichardt. As Shanahan stays with him though, and a nice transition from Shanahan. Shanahan looking for the door of the E92 BMW. Can he get nice and personal with the Czech driver as they come into outer zone 3? Shanahan looking a little bit lost, if you ask me, Dave. Yeah, not as 14 right from the off here. It's a nervous moment. It's the last run of the top 32. Who's taking that last space in the main event? Shanahan or Reichardt? Thumbs up from both drivers as they are released. The lights go green and we're away. Shanahan comes off the line through the chicane. Look at Reichardt though. He's putting it through its paces. Yeah, he's accelerating away from Shanahan as Shanahan fires that car, and Reichardt just a little bit later on initiation. Now Shanahan stands on the accelerator. Reichardt doesn't seem to have the proximity that Shanahan did. And look at Shanahan cutting the circuit ever so slightly to gain some ground. Reichardt doing everything he can to keep up with that Link Engine Manager Trace tyres S14 as Jack Shanahan
takes Michael Reithart across the line.
Yeah, a couple of errors from both home to the top 16. Slide him left for Jack Shanahan. Right from Michael Reithart. Will it be Ireland? Will it be the Czech Republic? And there you have it. Jack Shanahan gets the win, goes through to the top 16, and we throw it quickly back to you guys. Talk us through the decision.